Hello and welcome to a new series, Endless Space. I acquired this game a couple of weeks ago. I played it through once, just on a small map, on normal mode, and it was very easy, but I enjoyed it immensely. So I've decided that I'm going to play it again, and this time maybe you guys will enjoy watching. So what sort of game is it? It's very similar to Civilization in that it's one of those turn-based strategy games where you're expanding your empire and building your troops and going out and fighting, but it's in space, and you guys know how much I like my sci-fi. So yeah, I'm just going to leap straight into it and sort of explain as we go. So this is Endless Space with the Disharmony expansion. You buy it as the Gold Edition. It's currently full price. I managed to get it on a sale from another site, and so I got it for like £12.50, which is like a third of the price that it is on Steam, which is excellent. So we are going to start a new game. Right, and I've decided that I'm going to be the automatons, because they seemed like quite an interesting race to be. You can define your own factions, and all the factions have different traits that sort of change how they operate in the game. The automatons are essentially, they were very simple machines. They actually say that they were clockwork, a bit similar to those French robots in that Doctor Who episode, The Girl in the Fireplace. But then one day, this stuff called dust, see there it says dust, fell onto the planet, and it made the machines achieve sentience. Now, what is dust? Dust, as far as I can tell, are nanomachines left behind by a progenitor race. Some race of aliens from millions of years ago who have now died out, and they've left artifacts throughout the galaxy. And all these artifacts are made using this magical substance called dust, which can infuse machinery and give them special powers. They can also infuse certain people get exposed to dust and they become heroes, and so on. So, and in this game it's essentially the currency. But I like the idea of these guys because they live in symbiotic relationship with nature and so on, and they're not aggressive, but if you mess with them, you know, you're in trouble. So what are their abilities? What does this do? If there's a minus here, it means it's a faction penalty, and a plus means it's a bonus to them. You know, so the penalties are, we get 10% less dust per system. Hellgords. Now this is just something which I think will be on our starting planet. It gives us +3 food, but -30 happy people. You can see the little symbols down there. We are anarchists, so we get -2 command points on the Empire. Now, command points is a limit to how big your spaceship fleets can get. Now, I will be able to expand that later, but it means in general my spaceship fleets are not going to be able to have that many spaceships in. So I'm probably going to concentrate, I'm going to push for the largest type of spaceship as quickly as possible, and concentrate on just having these behemoths which can just roll roughshod over everything else. And we are also dust impaired, which means that if our heroes want to use special abilities, it's going to cost 50% more dust. Now, our faction bonuses, however, we are merchants, +1 trade routes per system. We are optimistic, +20 happiness on systems. Crowded planets, we get +2 people on small and tiny, and +1 on medium-sized planets, which means I don't have to expand my empire that far because I can squeeze a lot of population onto the planets. That's because we live on these floating platforms, which float above the surface of the planets, which is why we can fit more in. We're also diplomats, so +50% trade route bonuses. So we should be able to make nice alliances. We get strong alloys, so +20% health on all our ships. This is another reason to go for those single large ships. This will make up for the fact that we can't have as many ships. We get a 5th more hit points. We live in symbiosis, so +30% trade route bonuses for per corporation treaty. So we're definitely going for a diplomatic strategy with these guys. We want as many trade routes as possible, and we want as many allies as possible. Right. And last of all, Fearless Warriors, +25 defense per person on a system, which means although we're not necessarily aggressive, if you want to take over our planets, it's not going to be easy. So, this is who we are. We are the automatons. Our home planet is going to be jungle. We are diplomatic alignment good. That doesn't really matter because that's only if it's like an NPC faction. Gameplay style, peaceful and isolationist. Well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, if you guys think it's boring, then we can try and switch to a more aggressive stance. But we'll see how the game goes. Right, so other things we can set. I could go with a huge galaxy, but I'm just going to go with large. Yeah, let's go with large, but 8 empires. We're going to make it a normal age. This affects what sort of suns and planets we get. Let's go with just a disk. What's disk 4? An elliptical galaxy with 4 starting regions. No, we'll just go with a disk. Proto-galaxies, before the formation of distinguishable arms. So there's few travel restrictions on a disk galaxy. We're in there. We're going to change our colour though to Ayaron green. And all the other factions are going to be random. I can set some other things here, like I will have random events. A majority of star systems will grant an event. Each star system will have an exploration event. Do you want this on full? Everywhere I explore will have something nice? Yeah. I mean, the computer will get that bonus as well. Exploration event flags. Don't really need those if everywhere's going to have an exploration event. Ambience for the galaxy map, yes. Galaxy seed for events. Use the galaxy generate, nope. I'm going to leave most of this as it is. Pirates. Yeah, I'm going to leave them on normal. I considered not having pirates because they can just be a little annoying. And apparently the technology the pirates are using scales with the most powerful player. Which means if another faction gets ahead of you... I'm turning off pirates. And the reason is, as I said, the strength of the pirates scales with whichever faction is in the lead. Now, as far as I can tell, that simply gives them even more of an advantage, because they will be able to fight off the pirate attacks, but everyone else will keep being destroyed by the pirates. So, let's just leave it to the actual factions in the game. We're not going to have a battle timer. Battles can be in... we'll leave all the victory conditions on. So yeah, so that's that I think set up as we want it. Difficulty. Normal is too easy. I considered going to serious, but I'm going to go with hard. We'll go with a normal speed. This is how fast populations grow, how long it takes to invent tech, stuff like that. So, right, I've waffled on far too long, so let's actually get into the game.
They were the lone children of an extinct race, tending their biospheres in silent homage to the departed Rayans. A nation of pacifists interested only in advancing their knowledge of biology. Their sudden discovery of the greater galaxy left them even more withdrawn and isolationist. It has not, however, made them lose their sense of duty, and any nation that confuses pacifist for weak will learn a harsh lesson. Humble and patient, the automatons seek only to be left in peace.
We look like sort of like very spindly big daddies, don't we? Okay, so here is the game, and here is the interface. You can see we can zoom out and see the size of the entire galaxy there. What I like is wherever you're pointing with the mouse, that's where you will zoom in. So we can see here our home system. This is telling us that we have heroes available in the Hero Academy. Heroes are people you can hire for money, you have to pay upkeep for them, and they can do awesome stuff. So what have we got? We've got each hero has 2 different classes. This guy is a pilot and an adventurer, so he would be good to lead a space fleet. This guy is Corporate Commander. That's pretty good. And this guy is Corporate Adventurer. See, what you really want is there's like a Corporate Administrator, and you want one of those guys to be put in charge of all of your colonies. Like whenever you start somewhere new, you stick one of those guys in charge. I don't have the money to recruit any of those guys right now. So, I'll just quickly talk you through this. So, these lines are space lanes. They're quantum filaments, and when you start the game, your spaceships can only travel along quantum filaments. Later on, you can invent warp drive, which just lets you go wherever you want. So this is the status of the galaxy, and I've got no contact with anyone, so I can't see anything, but I can see the relative scores. So you can see we're all about the same. This is Empire Management, which is where you can see all your star systems and set your tax rates. So I want to keep everyone as happy as possible while still gaining money. That's 0. See, if people are happy, they produce more. Hang on, let me grab this. So, see, when that's happy, I'm getting 18 industry. This is industry, food, science, and money. It's all color-coded, which I like. So food is anything to do with food is always green, industry is always orange, science is blue, that's yellow. So I want this. So that's going to be 0 money and not really going to gain me anything. So I'll leave it there. What else have we got? We've got science. This is where we set our research. There are 4 different tech trees. There's a diplomacy and trading tech tree, this one here. Up the top is galactic warfare tech, so this is where all your weaponry is. Over here is applied sciences, and down there is expansion, is exploration and expansion. So, and you want to try and keep, I mean, you can specialize in one slightly, but if you completely ignore one of these branches, then you're going to be in trouble in the game. So I'm not going to choose what tech I'm researching yet, because I want to find out about the planet that I'm on. And this is diplomacy, where if I had met anyone, I could click on them and it would show me the relationships between them. But first, let's have a look at Yesel. This is our starting system. This is nice. Lots of planets here. Now, I cannot colonize any of these other planets because I don't know how yet. Because that's lava barren, and so on. Large desert. I definitely want to be able to colonize that large desert. Different types of planets give you different bonuses and so on. It's all based on population points, which you can see here. Now this is a medium jungle, but I can get loads of people in there because I've got this crowded planets, haven't I? So that's colonized. It's a medium jungle, which is very good for food and industry and pretty good for money and science. Jungles are awesome planets. Jungles and Terrans are the best places to be all round. There are those hell goods, which are giving me more food but making people less happy. But that's okay. More food means we expand our population faster, and we're going to speed that up even more. Because you can set an exploitation on a planet. Basically, each planet can specialize in either food, industry, science, or money. I got those last two the wrong way around. But we're going to do evolved soils, which will allow this thing to get more food. So that's got into our build queue here, and you can see there it says 3 turns for me to build that. So that's what we have to do there. Now, we've got a large desert and a small barren, medium barren. So, as I said, I want to set my science, and I want to make sure I can colonize those pretty quick. So, that lets me colonize arid, and that lets me colonize desert, tundra, Arctic. So it said, so this bottom branch is exploration and expansion. So it's mainly being able to colonize different planet types and improving your planets, but also spaceship hulls. Like there's a medium-sized ship, and if I go down somewhere, it's the dreadnought size. So ship class harvester. So that's probably the biggest ship type I've got. I've also got a thresher there. But it was a desert, wasn't it? I've forgotten already. Yeah, I want to be able to colonize that large desert, I think. Deserts are good for money. And if I can get lots of money, then I can lower my tax rate, make everyone happier, everyone will produce more, and so on. So I'm just moving my microphone slightly further away from my mouth, because I noticed I was popping a bit there. So, science. So I want to be able to colonize deserts. So if I just click there, it will show I'll research that first, then that. That's going to take 1 turn, that's going to take 2 turns. Very low level tech researches very quickly, and then obviously as the game expands, it goes on. So, what have we got here? We've got a white sun, maybe some easily colonizable planets, but better probability of planets that are slightly more difficult to colonize. Gas giants are very rare. So basically, the different sun types will have different planet types. You can see I can only see 1 jump away from my starting system. So that's a red supergiant, unlikely to have easily colonized planets. Here we have a binary star, which means dry, hot and rocky planets are more common. And down there, oh, a yellow sun. High probability of finding planets that require minimal research to colonize. Is that music a little too loud? It's difficult for me to judge. Yes, it is. Okay, can I go settings, options, audio, music volume? That's not what I set the music volume to. Okay. Let's leave that at 1, actually. Resume the game. Okay, so I've got 2 spaceships here. Okay. By clicking on them, they've shown up down here in this panel with different options they can do. I've got the Beta Fleet. This has a workshop ship. Now, this is this has no attack, no defense, but this is a colonization ship. So my workshop is what I send out to found new planets. I mean new star systems. And Alpha, this is a scout, so it has very little attack, very little defense, but it moves very quickly. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to send my workshop to this yellow sun, because wrong button. It's right hand mouse click to send to tell the ship to go there. There we go. So that's his projected course, and as you can see, he moves very slowly. So that's going to take him a while to get there. So let's move my scout to binary system, because it might have deserts and stuff on it. I am on the edge of the galaxy, which is good. I think in general you start off on the edge of a galaxy, but don't forget, this was a large galaxy, or did I go huge? I cannot remember. But there's 8 other factions out there, so I am going to run into people at some point. So you can see that the scout ship moves a lot faster. This circle here, this is their visual range. So the scout ship can scan out all that distance, whereas my workshop can only go out that far. This green circle around my star system, this is how far the star system can scan. Well, no, actually, that paler circle there is how far the star system can scan. The green circle, this is the extent of my empire. If I colonize places outside of that, they'll be a little unhappy and actually get penalties to money and production and stuff. So you don't want to expand too quickly. You want to concentrate on building up the systems you've already got. But you start off with a colony ship, and it's dumb not to use it. I'm also hoping that that won't connect anywhere else. Actually, it probably will. It will connect around that way, won't it? Okay, anyway, so that's it. That's my first turn. I have no idea how long that first turn took. Let me just check the timer here. That was 20 minutes. Okay, well, it's a lot of talking to sort of introduce you to the game and get up to speed, but then things will go pretty quickly. This game has a really nice interface. So, end of turn. So, end of turn in progress, and that's it. So nothing has happened because nothing has popped up. This little arrow there means any spaceships which have places to go will just go there. Oh, something has now popped up. Auriga system discovered. Okay, so this is like a story thing. Basically, there's a planet called Auriga which has some bonus stuff on it. I should probably have turned off the unique planets because it can sort of unbalance the game slightly, because whichever faction has these unique planets within their systems gets a massive bonus. But so we'll just dismiss that. So this says this executes all planned maneuvers. So I click that and my spaceships will fly off, and that's it for this turn. Yep, there we go. Anything. So the turns are not strictly linear in that while it's my turn, the computer is thinking about and doing its turn. So sometimes things can still move in even during your turn. So you've got to sort of take that into account. How's my science doing? Oh, okay. Actually, I was wrong about how long this place... this is the queue. That's the first thing I'm researching. That's the second thing. That's another 3 turns before we get that, which lets us colonize Arid, and then we'll go on to do that, which is 17 turns. Okay. Hopefully we will be building up a population thing. We are... what's this? Birth rate plus 41%. Growth in 1 turn. Yeah, so this shows you how quickly you're going to build. And the moment I get an extra person, then I will get more food, more industry, more science, and everything should speed up. So let's do our spaceship maneuvers. The scout has almost got in there. The last map I did was small. This one's huge or large, and the distances between these suns is a lot greater than I'm used to. It might just be because I'm on the outer edge of the galaxy as well, so the stars are getting more scattered. So this pop-up here, this shows me that Yisel, my home system, has finished its evolved soils, which has increased the amount of food I'm getting. So I can pop in and tell them to build something else. I'm going to build another scout. Ooh, caretaker. Caretaker is a basic combat vessel. Let's build a scout and then a caretaker, just so I've got something. You can see there the stats. There's 3 different types of weapon, well 4 if you include planetary bombardment, kinetic, which are like machine guns, beam and missiles. And then you've got 3 different defenses against those different types of things, and then you've got the speed of the ship, how many command points it takes, its hit points, etc. So we're going to build those because there's nothing else we can build right now because we've not researched anything. Move our spaceships. Okay, we've explored Ursa. You are not alone. Beginnings are delicate things. Friend or foe, ally or enemy, you have made contact with another spacefaring species. Treat them as you would have them treat you. Okay, we have met someone. You've encountered the Amoeba Empire. Well, that's good. The Amoebas in general aren't very aggressive. So, let's go to our galactic thing. We can now click here on the Amoeba, and we can get some information on them. So their attitude to me is currently neutral. Our status is Cold War. Now what Cold War means that you're free to fight their ships and take over their colonies outside of their empire, outside of the portion of the galaxy that's coloured with their faction colour. But you can't enter their territory. In general, they're very diplomatic. They get lots of bonuses from stuff like that. So, I'm going to speak to them. What can I do? I can declare war. No, thank you. Right, I can't do anything else because I've not invented it yet. So I need to sort of learn how to negotiate with aliens before I can start to negotiate with the aliens. So I'm going to send my scout on somewhere else because I need to leave his territory. Is that this? What's this? A protostar. Colder and drier planets are common, easily colonizable are rare. Okay, so there's a protostar there. could go off in that direction. Now he's a pale green, I'm a dark green. Let's go. Let's check out all the systems adjacent to me to start with. And that's it. I don't like him being that close. We might start bumping borders pretty quickly. Let's move our spaceships. Research complete. Arid epigenetics. The ability to permanently apply grafted or genetically engineered traits into the DNA of succulent plants has great long-term advantages for simplifying colonization. Yes, we can now colonize arid. And we're about to research sustainability, which lets us colonize deserts. We have an exploration event. Bundus. Gives us plus 10 science. So at the system Bundus, we got some science, which is cool. And that's it. Right, anything else happening? Isel, what are you doing? You're still building the scout. There's nothing else to build at the moment. Still trying to learn how to do that, but the population is shooting up nice and quick. Hopefully I will invent colonize deserts just as that reaches the top, and then I can move people from that planet to that planet. So let's just take a look at Bundus. There's a desert, which obviously we can colonize that once we've invented the ability. That's a nice system, actually. There's a lot of planets in there. How many planets a system's got is quite important. So, Scout. Let's go check out that blue sun there. This thing's still trying to get out there. It takes so long for those ships to move. That's it. End turn. Right, lots of stuff happening this turn. Okay, there's an enemy fleet there of Sophons. What type of spaceship is that? Oh, he's moving off. Okay, that's okay. So let's take a look at Orm. I can't actually colonize any of it. Yeah, there was a good chance I would be able to, based on what type of thing it was, but no. That's a shame. Okay, my colony ship is going to head to... Where was there a definite desert planet? Bundus had a desert, large. It's got corrosive soil, which will make people unhappy. But a foothold in that system would be really good, and it also might stop the amoebas from taking it over. What about this one, Zayn? Okay, I can get that arid though here at Zayn. Core tap insulation, plus 10 happy people on the planet. At the height of their technology, the Endless were able to tap planetary cores in order to exploit geothermal energy. Side benefits of these advanced installations include significant advances in geological sciences as well as mining of rare minerals. So what does it give me? Plus 10 happy. Some strange fossils. Now, we've also got some luxury resources on that system. I'm tempted to go there because it's closer to my home system. And I know I can get something. Okay. You are going to have to do the long trip back to there. Scout vessel, go onto that white sun. I maybe shouldn't have sent him out on such a long trip when there was a chance that that I wouldn't be able to get anything there. One enemy fleet. Military strength is 23. That's a scout vessel. I don't need to worry too much about that. You can see here, those luxury resources show up here, and these dots are the number of planets in a system with whether or not you can colonize them. Red ones you cannot colonize. Right, what have we got? First contact game event. Yes, we've encountered the Sophons. These Sophons also aren't too bad to have near you. They're scientists and make science, not war. So it's pretty good that the people close to me are probably people I will be able to ally with, because that is what my faction is all about. Yep, I've discovered that core tap. We've already discussed that. At Zayn, we got some more science, which is cool. And at Orm, we got some more science. So let's end that turn. Early on in the game, there can just be a little bit of waiting, you know, until stuff gets going. Then the turns start to get a little bit busier. So we'll just move our spaceships and end that turn. Right, what's this? Yisel has completed its scout and is about to start its caretaker. What I might do is redesign the caretaker, actually. So let me dismiss that. So let me go into military. This is military, where I can easily find all of my spaceships. It tells you what they're currently doing. You can scrap them, repair them, retrofit them, and all sorts of stuff. So currently, I've got scoutcraft, caretakers, and workshops available. But I want to add a new type. So we've got 2 hulls available. Workshop hull and a cutter. The cutters are bigger. They can be up to 100 tons. So basically I want to design a better spaceship to be my main military force. So seeing as the class is a cutter, I'm going to have a naming scheme that's based on cutting weaponry. So let's just go with flint knife, because this is the most basic type of spaceship you can have. So you can add modules to it, and they take up tonnage. And as I said, I can have up to 100 tons. So I have no special modules available. Support modules. I can add more power. But that requires antimatter. I must have antimatter somewhere. Okay, so I was just checking out what these things did. You can see here the tonnage. So if you want to put auto repair systems on, it's 20 tons. That'd be a fifth of the weight of the spacecraft. Scout sensors, the ability to have long-range sensors, is 30 tons. Increased engines is 15 tons. That might be worth it. +2 movement on the ship, otherwise it's going to be very, very slow. Seed mods. This is what lets you found other things. Workshop. -25% support module engine tonnage. Okay, so if I put engines on, even though that says 15 tons, a special ability of the cutter class is it'll actually use up less weight. Oh, and then that's gone to 16 tons. That makes little or no sense to me. Engine, -25% engine tonnage. Oh well. Alright, weapons and defense. I do not know anything about lasers or missiles at the moment, so I will put some deflect defense on. This is defense against machine guns. Just going to add 2. And then I'm going to add all of the guns I can. Right, now the way this works is the amount of damage you will do with your weapons is linear. So basically, double the amount of weapons, you'll do double the damage. The amount of defense that defense systems give you is not linear. It is inverse. So basically, the first one will give you plus 100%. Add a second one, and now you'll only be on plus 150%. Add a third one, and it's only plus 175%. So there's diminishing returns. The upshot of that is, when it comes to defense, you want at least 1, preferably 2, of each of the defense types. But there's no point really going above 4. It's all about having a reasonable defense and then just overwhelming the enemy with weaponry. So here's our flint knife. Now this will... Okay, we've got to create it first. So there's the flint knife. And I want to make sure that that's what's being built in my system now. So in Yeasel, yes, it's building a caretaker. And I want it to be doing a flint knife instead. I should have hit that auto upgrade, shouldn't I? And then that, I think, would have automatically become a flint knife. Is there still a way of doing it? I messed up slightly there. Flint knife. Upgrade queue. You've enabled the auto upgrade in the game options, and yet it didn't upgrade. Oh well, let's cancel that. Oh. Okay, 4 turns to make a flint knife. So that's how you can design your own spaceships, and obviously as you invent technology, they're going to get better and better. I'm probably going to be doing some... what I will do is, once I've got the desert planets, I will do these low-level ones on all 3 of those. So I've got basic laser defences, basic missile defences, but also basic food, science, industry upgrades for my systems. I think my spaceships are going to be basically kinetic based. My idea is I will keep researching down the missile and laser paths, but I'm mainly going to be interested in the deflector shields and anti-missile flak. And I think I'm just going to have guns. You know, it appeals to me, and because we're sort of clockwork robots, I think we think in a very mechanical way. So we like the moving parts of kinetic machine guns over the lasers. Right, let's move our spaceship. So our scout has arrived at Orion. Discovery. Discovery will have no effect as you have no hero in your fleet. Okay, fair enough. Orion, not a very good system. Large gas hydrogen and a huge tundra. The tundra's not bad. Of course, we don't know how to colonize tundra. But we could learn to colonize tundra pretty quickly. So it's not bad, but it's not brilliant either. Right, that thing's slowly moving its way to Zahan. So, lesson learned, I should just have scouted with the scout and left that guy sat there until I knew for certain. Alright, that does remind me though that Yeasel has a scout. That scout we built is in the hangar. You need to actually create a fleet with it if you want to use him. So, here's my other scout. This is a wormhole. I can't traverse wormholes until I invent the technology. So, he's guarding that border there. I need to know what's along here, don't I? So we'll move that scout vessel there. This is a Sophon scout. He's just sat there. I'm not bothered by him right now. Once I build my flint knife, I'll probably chase him out of the system. Review a fleet without orders. So this is my other scout. Yeah, come on. I want to tell him. Oh, I can't. I don't have a route because I can't go through this guy's territory without permission, and I don't know how to ask for permission yet. Okay, I'll send both my scouts down that way. If I can grab these systems here, then that will be like a reasonable corner of the galaxy without too many ways in. And I'll be able to hide behind the amoeba. So if anyone gets aggressive, they'll have to go through the amoeba first. So lots of spaceships moving. Okay, that's Sophon's scout is heading off that way. Each turn is a year by the look of it. So we started at 3000 AD, now we're at 3010 AD. Not much is happening right now. Yisel, how are you doing? That planet is full. I need to be able to colonize that desert. 2 turns before I do that science. I like the sound effects in this game and the music. It's all very mellow. Graphically, it's quite gorgeous. You know, it does the job. It's a well-designed interface. Once you learn the color coding, everything's easy to spot at a glance. Right, so here's my scout down here. This little pop-up here has told me that there's a spaceship who didn't know what to do. So let's... we've got a white dwarf here. You can pop over towards it. I feel like my empire is growing a little too slowly. Okay, sustainability. A critical prerequisite to colonizing another planet is to have a firm idea of the science, processes and skills necessary to do it in a sustainable manner. Recycling, renewable energy sources, pollution control and careful consumption are among the requirements. Right, so that was my ability to colonize deserts. So, what do we want here? Sustainable farms, soil xenobiology, so that's better food, that's better money. I want better industry, so yeah, I want heavy isotope refineries and better science. I think I definitely need to do that. So click that. If I hold down shift, I can then queue other stuff. So as I said, I'm going to work my way around here and then learn those. And then finally that one. So we're going for a nice circular pattern here. So this will get me, this will improve my industry, so my systems will be able to build stuff faster. Then I will improve science, so I will research faster. Then I will increase money, so I can change my tax rates. And then I will get more food, so everything will start to expand. And hopefully then everything will start to snowball. That's my plan. I planned it. Didn't dismiss that. What's this? Yisel has made its flint knife. This is good. This is good. So we will create a fleet with the flint knife. We can colonize that now. So I'm going to move over. Okay, what do deserts give us? Deserts give us lots of money. Lots of money. So let's move. Oh, come on. Sometimes this is a little tricky. There we go. Right. Moving 2 people from Yisel. Why isn't that working? Ah! I can't drag people over until I colonize it, and I colonize it by clicking there. So it will take 2 turns for them to colonize it, and that I think will move a single population point from there to there. Then I can do more stuff. Okay, I forgot how that worked. Right, so I've got my flint knife now. So I'm going to tell him to intercept enemy fleets leaving orbit and blockade the star system. So basically, if anyone comes in, they'll be stuck here, because I just don't want the enemy fleets from just wandering all over the place. Actually, I think I might blockade there to stop the amoeba from expanding that way. So, yeah, so here's my flint knife. Go over there. See, it's got a reasonable speed because I stuck that extra engine on. So that's the completed constructions. Tell my ships to move. Right, scout at Wrath. Doesn't know where to go. Okay, he can... Now he can go to the protostar because he knows a route there. I should take a look at Wrath, shouldn't I? Ah, it's already colonized. Industrial zone, small jungle. So this belongs to the amoebas, I think. Yeah. It's a light green. So I can move through the territory because it doesn't have an empire ring around it. And I could even attack it without starting war. But I don't think I want to. I'll let him have that one, I think. Or at least for the moment. Right. This thing's finally almost reached Zayan. That's really slowed me down, the fact that I did that wrong. That's really, really slowed me down. Right, production. Okay, Yisel has colonized. There we go. See, there's one person there now. So now I can move that extra person over, and you can see the numbers change when I do that. So this is going to reduce my food, but increase... oh, and industry slightly, but it will increase my money. So we're going to do that. We can't build anything else at the moment, so I'm going to convert my industry to science. 33% of it's converted into science, so this will mean I'll do the researches quicker, because there's nothing else I can build here right now. I don't want any more ships, because ships have an upkeep cost. So yeah, science is going to research a little bit quicker now. Ooh. I've just noticed that I can colonize something on Bundus. There's a large desert with corrosive soil. What's it, Zayan? Small arid. Yeah, no, I think I want my workshop to go onto Bundus. Tactically it makes more sense, because that will stop the amoeba from going through there, and it'll cordon off Zayan, so I can grab Zayan and Orion later. Right, so I've set that. Game event. If it was easy, you wouldn't be. It wouldn't be interesting. Congratulations on the first settlement of an advanced and difficult planet type. Yep, that's just the fact that we colonized the desert. Haggard, unsure, but full of hope, the first colonists of your faction have set foot on another planet. It may seem trivial, but even the most epic adventures begin with a single step. Actually, they haven't set foot on the planet. They're in floating cities above the surface of the planet. We don't like stepping on planet because we're all about the nature. Okay, lots of spaceships have arrived places. Let's take a look at Virgo. Tundra. Okay. Scout there. Just got to find out what's going on. Ooh. That's a Sophon scout in the same sector as that guy. Can't I attack him? Oh, I don't think he's arrived yet, but he is about to. So we're going to blockade that system. You can see these little tiny shield markers appear. It means no one can leave the system. They can enter the system, but they can't leave it. It's a form of guarding. And last of all, this scout here. Go over to Raf and then explore further that way. So hopefully I'll at least be able to get a second system settled before the end of this episode. Right, research complete. N-way fusion plants. Previously thought a practical impossibility, recent advances in shielding technology permit more than two bodies to be involved in a fusion reaction. This opens the door to enormous leaps in energy generation, which means I can make heavy isotope refineries. Development of N-way fusion technology permits the creation of exploitation of fuels that are stabler and cheaper. So, we're going to go on and research the science, so I can dismiss that, but I want to change Yisel from doing its science conversion to making heavy isotope industries, because this will give me plus 10 industry overall, and plus industry per person on my planets. That will take 3 turns. I'll keep an eye on this. Once that gets back up to full, then I'll drag another person over to there. I forgot to change my science rates, didn't I? I mean my tax rate. Because I want my people to be as happy as possible. Because that will increase... See, industry will go up from 37 to 40, food goes from 43 to 80, science stays the same. So, yeah. Let's have a happy population. Resource discovered. Titanium-70 has been identified in the galaxy. Poor deposit on the colonized planet of Yisel 1. Oh, good. So I found titanium in the system I was already in. I didn't know it was there before because I hadn't invented that N-way thing. But now I now have titanium, which is good because titanium lets me minus 30% on modules which use titanium. So that's cool. Titanium exploitation allows for new developments in all linked systems. So you have to not be blockaded. You have to have trade routes and stuff like that in order for these resources. So that these ones in white, these are luxury resources. In purple, that's a strategic resource, which means it's used for building and stuff like that. Right. This Sophon scout has now arrived in this system, so I'm going to chase him off. So we're going to attack him. I'm not going to show you combat yet because a scout will always run away. That's all they do. I will just say that combat takes place in 3 phases: long, medium and melee range. And for each phase you can choose a tactic. So for example, he's going to choose retreat, which is unblockable, so it'll always work, and it counters tactics. So I'm not going to do that. I could do weapon overclock, plus 40% damage on kinetic weaponry. Each thing you do counters a specific other card, which means if he chose tactics and I'd use this, I would get a massive bonus over him. But if I choose this, which is an offense card, and he chooses defense, he'll get a massive bonus over me. So it's a bit like rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. And more cards will be added as I invent new tactics and new technology. More cards can also be added by heroes if they're in charge of the fleet. But I just want to do as much damage as I can because there's a chance I might blow him up. I'm just going to auto this though. I'm not going to show you the fight. Ooh, I actually killed him. 1 enemy ship destroyed. Now, lasers and kinetics can always be outran. The advantage, lasers and missiles can be outrun when someone runs away. It's because he chose not to run. He did a defense card. Oh well, I wish I'd shown you the fight now. I expected him to just run away. Oh well. So the Sophons are going to be slightly less happy with me, but I don't care too much. I wouldn't do that to an amoeba craft because I'm hoping to make friends with them. Right, we've got a scout here. Going on to another protostar. This one, is that colonized? It's colonized. Who colonized that? Yeah, that's the amoebas again. You see how they're, how they're spreading out? And we've got a scout here. Let's check out this white dwarf that's by the amoebas. Okay, end of turn. Anything happening? Nope. You still building stuff? Yes, you are. See, again, all the information is here on this screen. I can see the 2 planets. The crown means it's my home system. That shows me what it's currently building. It's all very nicely designed. Okay, Menges. All these systems have already been explored, which is why I'm not getting any exploration events. There we go. Science. Isolation shields. Though difficult to apply outside a highly complex laboratory context, first steps are made in isolating objects from the effects of quantum and gravitational forces. Development of these installations requires enormous resources from both corporations and governmental organizations. And it lets me build public-private partnerships, which improves science. Science! Oh, it looks like we did actually just finish the construction of that. So our industry has shot up to 59 now. So let's improve our science, because we need to research stuff nice and quickly. I'm going to wait till that gets to the top before I drag another person over. So that's the isolation shields. That's the completed construction. Move our spaceships. Some people don't have any orders. Aha! Our first off-world colony here at Bundus. So we can colonize this desert, which corrosive soil means people are not going to be happy, and there's not going to be much in the way of food there either. -1 food per person on the planet. This is going to expand quite slowly, but I still think it's worth it from a strategic point of view, because it will stop the amoebas from taking it. So we click this icon here for colonize. And the only thing we can colonize is the large desert. So there we go, we've got this system. So how long will that take? 12 turns. Yeah, everything's going to take a lot of time. I think the first thing I want to do is exploit for food. So +1... oh no. Is this a desert? This is a desert. Oops, sorry, I did not mean to actually click on it. Exploiting for food doesn't actually do anything on a desert by the look of it. What does? I can get +1 money per person on a desert. Birth rate is 24%, so we are gaining some, but this is not going to go quickly. And it just occurred to me, I have no exploitation here yet either, so that's another desert. Which the only exploitation which will work on a desert is money. But I should definitely do that. Probably before I do the public-private partnerships. Yes, there we go. Who's this? My scout ship. Aha! Wirix also belongs to the amoeba. So the amoeba already has that one and that one. I'm wondering if... No, I mean... I should try and get Orm if I can. But I need to know how to colonize tundras, which I am going to invent at some point. I just want to make sure that I get a reasonable bit of the galaxy before the amoebas just steal everything. Okay. Where do I want you to scout? Let's find out what's up here. Okay, Yisel has done its planetary exploitation and is going to start on its science. So now that I'm actually exploiting for money with the colonial exchange, once again, can we change our rates? No. So that's -3 money. Oh, the people in my home system are ecstatic. That's nice. It's always good when your people like you. Oh, that's a Sophon, and that's the alarm. As I said, I am playing 1 hour per game. So, I will just give this guy his orders. Oh, he's got 2 planets there. This is a nice planet. We've got a huge jungle. Nice. But let's give our scout his orders. No one's exploring there. Let me just pop on back and find out what that is. Let's just do a quick rundown of how the Empire is. Our home system of Yisel is growing quite nicely. We've got our second system, Bundus. You can just pop into them here as well. This is good. We have 50 money. Science is researching quite nicely. We are currently researching xenology, which lets us make xenotourism agencies and will lead us to our first offers of peace and ceasefires and stuff like that. Now the only thing I wanted to quickly check before we left is whether or not I want to hire any of these heroes, because I've got enough now. Okay, pilot adventurer, corporate commander, corporate adventurer. Talented for spying, killing, sneaking, and of course stealing. Good with strategy, mostly uses an admiral in fleets. I'm going to hire this guy here, G. Wuchter. We can inspect him. Living on that fuzzy line, somewhere between unpredictable and out of control, Wuchter was an erratic, if successful, leader of colonial explorations. When his mission uncovered an endless sight and Wuchter was augmented by the free-floating dust, his eccentricities seemed to get worse. At that point, the Empire decided it would be far better for him to work elsewhere. So, I think we're going to hire him. And we're going to assign him to our new system of Bundus, because it needs some help. So now if I click on Bundus, we can see we have our hero here. He doesn't have any experience points yet, but even so, he is giving a bonus to the system. What's he giving? Plus 2% science, plus 2% money. So not huge yet, but he will level up. And that's it. I'm not going to hit the end of turn marker, because if you do that, you'll never stop playing. Thank you for watching. Any suggestions strategically how you think I should go on? My thoughts are that I try and colonize Orm as soon as possible. So I'm probably going to have Yisel build another colony ship and send it over. I might change the order in which I'm researching science, so I learn colonize tundra quicker, because that's what's here in Orm, is a large tundra with molten springs. That's actually quite nice. One thing I'm going to do is my flint knife, I'm sending it to Orm. I need to secure it. Bundus, I don't think the amoeba will attack Bundus. If they do, then I can deal with it. I'm quite difficult to get off a planet. So that's my immediate strategy. If you guys have any suggestions, if you're familiar with the game, or if you just want to go clawing through the wiki and then tell me all about it, that'd be good too. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you want to see more. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.